Hello, good morning. Welcome to another exciting podcast on Mondays for Men. We just started off this new series, but we're going to be addressing men and everything that has to do with the male gender is very, very important. So every Monday by 12 noon, based on this timeline, you can come up to our YouTube channel on And God Said, and you can watch different things that has to do with men. You can send in your questions and your comments, and in subsequent videos, we'll be able to address them. Today, we're going to be focusing on leadership. Leadership is very, very important. One of the things every man needs to know is that your maker, your creator, has designed you for leadership. You may not feel like it, you may not have a nudging for it, but I want you to know that you have been designed for leadership, and it's very, very important. The earlier you embrace your divine call or your divine career into leadership, the better for you and everyone that is connected to you. So today we're going to start off by looking at personal leadership for a man. Personal leadership. Every man must know that he has what is called personal leadership. We're talking about a time where you lead yourself. You don't need any external factor, you don't need any external pressure. It's a time where you personally lead yourself. You make your decisions, you make your goals, and you work towards it. But first and foremost, I want us to identify what is leadership. What is leadership? Leadership is setting goals and achieving goals through influence. I repeat, leadership is setting goals, achieving goals through influence. So when we talk about leadership, there has to be a goal, there has to be an achievement, and what is in between is influence. So it's not just setting goal, there has to be an influence in between, then you achieve the goal. That's the simple definition for leadership. So if you're a male, you're watching me, you have to write it down. Leadership is setting goals, achieving goals through influence. And as a male species, your creator has given you the ability, the capacity, the tenacity, as well as the propensity to be a leader, to set goals, achieve goals through influence. So since today we are looking about personal leadership, one of the first things you need to know in personal leadership is that you need to set goals. What are your goals for the second half of 2020? You need to set goal. I'm not asking you what is working. I'm not asking you what is not working. I'm still be asking you what are the goals you have set for yourself. You need to set goals that has to do with you. They can be financial goals, they can be health goals, they can be family goals, they can be career goals, but you need to set goals. Since we are just new, some of you are new to it, I wanted to set just two major goals in this month of July. Two major goals you want to achieve. Set the goals, and this is the things you are going to achieve. So in between, we have what is called influence. Influence is important if you're going to achieve your goal as a man. It's very, very important. Influence can come from internal and external. Remember, we're talking about personal leadership. So we're going to start first and foremost with internal influence. Internal influence can be likened to self-motivation. If you're going to achieve your goal, you have to self-motivate yourself. You have to motivate yourself. It is not easy to motivate yourself as a man, since you're having a lot of external pressure. People are pulling you here and there to do one thing or the other, but you need to influence yourself. You need to be self-motivated. Number two, you need to have self-discipline. You need to discipline yourself. A man that is not disciplined cannot achieve anything. You need to discipline yourself. Set deadlines and meet those deadlines. I'll go to bed by 10 p.m. in the night. I'm going to wake up by 5 p.m. 5 a.m. the next morning. You need to discipline yourself. Anything in between, push it aside, because we're talking about personal leadership and we're talking about influence. You need to influence yourself to succeed. Set deadline, meet those deadlines. Put yourself under what I call self-discipline. Self-governance is very, very important. So it's very, very important. Influence. You need to influence yourself. One of the things you can influence yourself is by the things you read. Reading has a lot of way it influences people. If you're a man, you have not been given to reading, start reading. Start reading. Dr. Mark Murdoch says reading affects your thinking, and you cannot be an achiever if you don't think properly. So you need to influence yourself by the books you read. Make sure you read daily. It's going to give you a paradigm shift. It's going to dissolve your mindset and give you a better mindset to achieve. You are talking about internal influence. You need to read, study yourself, know your weaknesses and your strength. Number two, we're going to talk about outside influence. Outside influence is powerful. That also has to do with the kind of friends you keep. A wise man said, your company determines your accomplishment. Once you have wrong company, you're not going to accomplish much. So you need to be very selective. Yes, you have to love everybody, but friendship is by choice. A brave man said, your friend determines your end. So once you have wrong friends, you're going to have wrong endings. That's why a lot of people can't go too far as a male species, because they have surrounded themselves with people that are going nowhere. And I wish and I pray for you that you will not fall into those victims. A wise man said, two things determines what you become in 5 years' time, but I have streamlined it to things that you become in 5 months' time. The books you read and the friends you keep. Those external forces, people you allow to speak into your life, you need to guide their influence, because if their influence is negative, the goals you have set, you will not be able to achieve it. So influence, select the kind of influence you subject yourself to. Who is your coach? Who is your mentor? Who is your pastor? You need to be careful the kind of influence. Maybe you grew up in an environment that is always giving to negative influence. You need to detach yourself. One of the books I've read over time and I loved it is the book titled Rich Dad and Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. He made a profound statement there. He said the poor dad was my father and the rich dad was my friend's dad. So I have to adopt the two dads. One taught me the importance of going to school. The other one taught me the importance of making money. So influence is very, very important if you are going to achieve your goals. Listen to me, 2 things will determine your happiness in the second half of 2020. Number 1, the friends you have. And number 2, the goals you have achieved. I believe I've been able to add value to you today. We're going to meet again next week, Monday, by what we call Monday for Men. My name remains Victor Busmo. Have a wonderful working day. Bye for now.